guys. Thanks for joining. We welcome you warmly. It's a great pleasure to talk to you at this point of time and talk about the club overall. A brief introduction about me. I don't want to go through this much. I'm from Pune, India. I completed my bachelor's in electronics and telecommunication. Right now, I'm pursuing my information systems from Northeastern University. I'm also a student ambassador. If you want to get in touch with me. I recently finished my co-op as a data engineer from PACA, Peterbilt Motor Company, which is based in Texas. Um, to go further, I just want to speak a short description about what Skunkworks is and what was the timeline overall that we came up with establishing this group. The initial idea, the novel idea, which was initiated by Professor, and he has been a great advisor to us till date. We gathered more member at that point of time, which was during 2019, a year back. The idea was to do research and more projects by collaborating with students. The novel idea was to teach the students that we were trying to learn, at the same time do research with them by collaborating with the students who are interested with, similar to what you guys are interested in. And we started organizing workshops where we could invite students, we could invite the industrial members, also the students who would like to share their, the knowledges that they have, maybe AWS, cloud engineering, data engineering, even GitHub at that point of time, where we thought that those topics could be very important. So that's something that we started. And slowly when we realized that, yeah, this could be formed as a club and we can, have a recognition, an official recognition from the GSG, of the club, we can definitely do that, and we got that during August of previous year. And then we started presenting more ideas, more projects, and then the slow run, we learned a lot. And now we have new projects which are coming up, which Professor just introduced. The workshop, I think Professor already showed this, but again, to go ahead with this, we did environment setup, Python, which was very much important in the initial stage for the students who came in during the fall. And introducing them, maybe giving them a head start, whoever was interested at that point of time to learn all those, give them a Tableau workshop, which was given by our alumni at that point of time. Even we had IIT Agni, Indian Institute of Technology over here in Boston, who came over here, and we represented our club over there presenting. Grace was with us. Some of our alumni were with us, who gave a head start over there, explaining what AI is to the students. And yeah, we did other CNN and SQL workshops too. One of the screenshot which shows an H2O's driverless AI was given by H2O themselves, whom we invited from the industry, and they were glad to give the demo to the students as well and introduce them to that particular whole domain. Similarly, the projects that we had where, interpretability was also established at that point of time, called AI Eden, capsule network, which was taken by Nikunj, deepfakes, and more projects. The whole idea was to, bring up the novel ideas that we had as a project, and collaborate with students whoever were interested in understanding it, researching more on it, and establishing them. And I would say we always followed what Professor advised, which is try it, do it, you'll understand what the whole method is, what the whole concept is. And I would say I have been benefited from it. I was nothing 2 years back, I would say 2018, fall 2018. I'm from fall 2018, by the way. And my experience before that was completely none for this particular domain. And when I started coming over here, when I started learning by collaborating with students, I gained more experience, and I would say I'm still learning. It's not that I have well established myself, but I would say whatever I am right now, the credit goes to Professor and credit goes to the students with whom I worked, and all these projects which we worked by doing it. All that it takes is by doing it. That's it. Try it out, learn it, share the knowledge with others. While you share your knowledge, your knowledge grows 10 times more than what you already know. And you learn more, and your enthusiasm builds up more. This is what my point is over here, and I represent that. Though I'm being called as a president, I still would say I'm a student amongst everyone else. I'm same like you. I don't have much knowledge on many stuff, but I learned a lot while doing this. So my point is, you should also, try to collaborate. You can also learn, and this platform, this gives you a good platform to learn a lot. To be frank. So this was the images from the RISE presentation, which is one of the Northeastern's important novel ideas being presented, which is hosted every year. So you can also do that. And going back again to what Professor had asked us, is to, if you can help the graduated students, that would be great. If you can, just sign this petition and share it as much as possible, that would be great. Something that we do for our seniors who helped us to learn. I would appreciate if you guys can do that. So once again, I would like to welcome all the members and officers. And I would like to say, teach and share your knowledge while you learn, and also with equal respect to the others is what I would like to, begin with, and welcome you as a new members. I would like to finish it with, mentioning few stuffs based on the current situations that is happening. The COVID-19 is one of the great concern amongst the students too. Don't worry, don't panic, don't be fearful. Take up these projects, work on them, research on them, understand them. Knowledge is the real asset for everyone, I would say. Based on my experience, I would say even my co-op that I ended up with was because of all these projects that I handled. I tried to learn from them, the data engineering stuff, working with the cloud, running the models on the cloud, trying to do, tuning the models, learning from them, even learning Linux, the Red Hat certifications and all those things. Those help you a lot. And this gives you, Skunkworks gives you a good platform. This is my personal experience. I'm not publicizing it, but, I'm saying what I learned from it is what my point is. And I would, encourage the students, the prospective students and even the coming students to join it and try to take away your best from it. That's most of the from my end. I'll be happy to collaborate, and if you have any questions, feel free to post your questions. I'll be happy to answer you. Yeah, that's all from my end. Going further, Karthik.
Thank you, Prabhu. I'm sure, coming from you, we have a lot to learn and take inspiration from. I think next up we have Grace. So Grace is also a graduate student in the IS program. Grace, I'll let you go ahead with it.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Grace, and I don't have any fancy slides. I'm just here to share my personal experience of being one of the members in AI Skunkworks. So I'm a second-year master student in information systems, focusing on data science. I first joined AI Skunkworks 2 years ago and started a project called Plugin for Interpretable Machine Learning Model with a group of fellows and under the help of professor. So the goal of this project is to build a prototype which can interpret models that are always in black box and suitable for different data sets. And after my co-op as a data scientist intern, my interest actually turned into more practical issues. That is how things were made could help to solve real world problem, and does the solution conform to reality. Therefore, I continue my research project on the evaluation system of interpretable machine learning model with Prabhu. And another experience I would like to share happened when I was looking for a co-op. So this company gave us a research paper and asked us to implement an algorithm from this paper in less than 1 week. I wouldn't lie about how struggling it is, and actually the whole week I did is reading the paper and tried and failed and tried again. But eventually I finished the paper on time and received an offer from that company, but I didn't go because this company actually gave me such a huge overwhelming trauma. I didn't recover for weeks. It's just kidding. But anyway, I really don't think I can finish this project, this paper, without the experience of doing research projects in AI Skunkworks. But honestly, the most valuable experience, at least for me in AI Skunkworks, is not only the opportunities of those co-ops or jobs, it's actually the self-development. So 2 years ago, I have zero idea about what kinds of job I should do in the future or which area I should focus on. But with the help of a professor and a bunch of great teammates, the AI Skunkworks actually helps me find my interest. And more importantly, my determination of doing this as my future career. So those days of reading papers and looking for resources everywhere and really digging into the topics we're working on is the most helpful thing. And that is the time I know what I'm exactly doing right now, and also what I can do to improve myself in the future. And this is also the reason I hope more and more people can join this team, so that we can work together, we can encourage each other on continuing this research path and to become better us. Yeah, that's all. And if you have any questions, feel free to connect with me. Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you, Grace. Awesome. So that was like pretty inspirational. That how you could use this experience with your co-op. I'm sure there are many of us looking for co-ops right now, and we're actually trying to find the right path. I'm sure that your words have given some guidance on that. All right, I think we have Nikunj next, who's also an IS senior, and he's also one of the founding members of AI Skunkworks. So Nikunj, you can go ahead and start presenting.
Okay. Let me just share my screen. Okay, I don't know. Hold on. Okay. Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah, you can
Okay.
see.
So I can see that 53% of people have done research before and about 47% not. So I would say 50% of the population know about research. Anyways, the idea which I would like to talk about today is how to do research. And this is kind of an important thing for people who are jumping in new. And I feel it's necessary for them because I personally had struggled a lot while trying to get into research. It's been 3 years. It's been 3 years for me doing this, and so I have been through a lot of ups and downs. I have seen a couple of things, and I really intend to share a couple of things which I feel are necessary uh, to you guys. So a bit about myself. I'm a computer vision and machine learning engineer. I like solving problems in vision. Lately, I took a special liking to NLP, but I haven't dived deep into it. I have worked strictly on audio. Earlier, I have been a teaching assistant with professor for almost a year for 2 semesters. I was a founding member of the Skunkworks back in spring 2019 with Prabhu and the other TAs. I worked as an RA on modeling systems. I interned as a computer vision research intern uh, at a co-op in UI America Inc. at Cambridge. And in general, I am quite curious to know about things, and I love experimenting and figuring out answering questions and stuff like that. So uh, I just wanted to start by letting you guys know as to what exactly is research and how do you get started, because most people are like quite confused about this. They don't know the idea about it. And so I would say the first thing which you can do is to first figure out the problem you would like to solve. It can be any problem. It can be a medical problem, a problem related to the finance field or the entertainment field. Uh, See where you would like to work into, identify the areas, start reading about cool stuff once you figure out what you want to do, and once you get to know about it, you can dive deep into it. So if I would like to give you an instance, say someone is watching Netflix and they are like, hey, this show which I'm watching right now is exactly the one which I think is recommended, similar to the genre which I usually watch. And then most of you guys know that Netflix uses recommender systems to the back end. And when you are watching a particular movie, let's say, and you are recommended a movie of the similar genre, I think you should question yourself at that point that how exactly are things working in the back. That is what research is. That you start asking questions. You try to figure out what's going on in the back. What what are the things which cause certain things to happen? In this case, how do recommended systems work? Why am I suggested this movie? Is everyone suggested the same movie which I am being suggested if I watch the same genre? what other kind of applications can I do with recommended systems? Can I have a book recommendation? Can I have a movie recommendation? How does Spotify work? Try asking questions once you figure out the problem or a domain in which you would like to be into, and ignite curiosity. And I have highlighted curiosity a lot. I have highlighted curiosity in bold because I feel it's very important for you to do that. You need to ask questions. You need to know how does things work inside. Why is it happening with in certain way? Start diving deeper. And in my own personal experience, the capsule network projects which I worked on, which if you can go, you can find on the Skunkworks website. It's there on the Skunkworks GitHub. The capsule networks project was something which I started working on last spring when I founded Skunkworks with Professor, and it kind of started off by reading a paper. I was just reading a paper. I was like curious as to wow, what exactly is this, and can we implement this? So I knew I wanted to work into the vision field, so I was clear about my problem, and I kind of explored it. So that's one of the things which I did. Had I known that my problem is working in a particular domain. Now what about if you don't know a problem? Like most people don't know where they would like to work. They are like, I would just like to get started, but I really don't know where do I get started. And in that case, I would say that it's better if you start approaching a person who is an expert in a domain. Or when I say an expert, try approaching a faculty. In this case, you can approach Professor Brown because he has a lot of projects in the club wherein you can contribute. You can start your journey by jumpstarting it by entering into existing research. That's the best way to learn, to be honest, if you don't know where you want to start off from. So the benefit of this approach is not only will you start doing research with an established personnel in the industry, you will also end up having a paper or a publication if you start doing things in the very serious note. And I have this personal experience of mine. The reason why I'm saying you need to do this is because back in 2017, when I was starting off in the field of machine learning and all this AI stuff, I kind of approached a professor back in India named Dr. Nirmal, and he was working on speech recognition with machine learning. And he was trying to solve a problem of dysphonia, which is a medical disorder for voice. And I wasn't knowing a lot about it. I wanted to learn. I tried learning. I tried experimenting. I asked questions. I did what was told to me. I tried and learned and invested a lot of time. I basically jump-started my career by entering into a research which was already ongoing. And in that way, you try to catch up with the things which are going on. You ask questions, you collaborate, and you then eventually come to know that, hey, this is the kind of problems which exist. This is the kind of problems which actually needs to be worked on. Maybe I can do something like this. So if you don't have any idea as to what is to be done, I would suggest that entering into an existing research is a good idea. So maybe you can try looking up on the existing projects which are there in the Skunkworks, which can act like a guiding factor for you to pursue your own independent research later on. And the side product of this approach is I eventually ended up publishing 2 papers, one in Springer and one in IEEE. It's being hosted on my website if you would like to see sometime. So that is the second thing, if you don't identify a problem. And in general, how do you explore a research idea if you are trying to do that? And I would say that having worked in different problems, you need to set yourself in motion where you eventually would like to explore new ideas, new techniques, and new scenarios. So when you end up working in research, you might come across a lot of keywords like object detection, RNN, LSTMs, segmentation. You will come across a lot of buzzwords, and trust me, don't be overwhelmed by this. Try to remember these buzzwords. You might be curious to know about them. Then keep a log of all those things which you would like to learn. And when you are trying to explore a new area after you have established your base in a particular area, try to figure out which domain you would like to work into. For instance, I have been working into image classification and in computer vision since a while, and I was not quite aware about segmentation. And I was like, okay, what exactly is segmentation? I would like to explore that space, and I've heard a lot about it. I know discretely what exactly it is, but I would like to delve deeper into it. So as an independent study topic right now, I have taken up a topic on interpretability in image segmentation, which I'm trying to explore. And for that, I'm trying to read papers, blogs, articles. So this is the third idea. If you don't know where you want to work into, if you have identified a problem for yourself and you would like to pivot yourself to a new area, try keeping a log of all the important things which are there, which might have come across your journey, and try to figure out and tackle one problem at a time. The key idea is to delve into the depth rather than broadening your width. Uh, it's okay if you know one thing, but it's very important that you know it very properly rather than knowing 10 different things. And these are a couple of underappreciated things right now, which I feel is very important. Apart from the things which I mentioned earlier, all the three slides, for anyone pursuing research, it's very important that they follow these things, which not many of them usually speak about. Start by following prominent people in the industry on Twitter, if you have a Twitter, or if you would like to do it on LinkedIn, it's okay. Here are a couple of examples of people whom I follow. Andrej Kapati is a director at OpenAI, if I'm not wrong. No, he's a director at Tesla. He was earlier working as a research engineer in OpenAI. Follow the work of people who are good. Soumya Chintala is a creator of PyTorch. It's a deep learning library. Likewise, you must be all knowing Andrew Ng, who is a very famous professor at Stanford, and he's a founder of Coursera. Likewise, Ian Goodfellow, etc. These are established people in the industry related to my field, which I am interested in. Likewise, figure out people who are interested and who are expert in your domain. Follow them. Read what they are currently doing, what kind of things they are into. This will keep you aware of things which are working in your domain. It will keep you updated with the latest research. It will keep you motivated enough to do more. Also, it will keep you aware about things in case anyone asks you in the interview that what's going on lately, and you can maybe say about it if you know. Second important thing is download papers, document your papers, have an idea of reading research papers, exploring blogs, articles, and most importantly, after having read it, try to make sure that you summarize it for your own benefit. So an idea which I would like to say is, I happen to read papers here and then, now and then, and I try to document it and summarize it in my own words in 2 pages. This helps a lot because it not only helps you understand whether you have grasped the knowledge. In case you haven't understood, you can ask people, you can talk to professor, you can discuss, you can collaborate with others, you can question them. It goes a long way. Thirdly, as Professor rightly said, start by teaching and sharing your knowledge, and this goes a long way in strengthening your core concepts. As I said, depth matters. It matters a lot. And I have a couple of examples which I would like to share. These are a couple of articles written by my colleagues here in the class. Abhishek Dabas is one of my friends. And as Professor said, these guys have been working on causal inference. Here is a Medium article posted by him. And this shows that he has worked on it, he has understood it, and he is sharing the knowledge. The benefit of this is if anyone gets stuck, they can ask you questions. In case you get lost, you can try to figure out, you broaden your knowledge, you strengthen your core concepts, and if you teach, you learn more. So there's another article published by Abhishek. Do give a read to both these articles. They are pretty good articles on causal inference and correlation and bias in AI. Fourth point is remember the people whom you come across in your daily life and remember their strengths. Research is not just about working on a project and publishing papers. It's all about knowing people around you who are strong in their own domain. For instance, Professor Brown is great in statistical learning and reinforcement learning. Make sure to pick his brain in case you have questions regarding that. 2 of my friends are great in causal inference. I would really approach them if I would have any questions in causal inference. Abhishek Maheshwarappa and Karthik are working on interpretability in machine learning. Do check their work as well on their GitHub. They are working on really great things. And likewise for auto modeling and H2O, Prabhu has been investing a year working on this. So do ask him, like, these are the people who I have been interacting with daily. These are their strengths. You might be coming across people in your own domain. Research does not mean to neglect those people. Research means to remember them and ask them questions when you need them because they are expert in their field. Fifth point is have a portfolio. This goes a long way. Trust me, this really goes a long way. I have been inspired by this, and I was able to come up with my own website. This is a website which I just created. It has my work on it. It has my experience, my projects which I've been working on, my publications, etc. And it shows that you have not only worked on an idea, but it shows that you can share it to the outside world. It strengthens your profile. Tomorrow, when you are applying for jobs, people really look at it and they see that, hey, you have published papers, you are working on this project, this is your ongoing research, etc. A couple of other projects of a couple of other websites which are really cool. These are just examples of websites. This is a friend of mine who works at Adobe. This is one of his websites. This is another guy at who is at Facebook AI Research. Just examples of how you can go about creating simple portfolios which really have a great impact. And these are all people who do research. Like they have their papers mentioned, they have their GitHub mentioned, they have small description about them. It's enough. It projects a lot about you. And in case you are interested in hosting blogs, this is another great guy named Christopher Ola. He's a Google research scientist and he's exceptional in NLP. Try to follow him and try to see how he's trying to derive a blog for it, blog post. So take inspiration from that. And lastly, stalk people on GitHub. And yes, I'm saying GitHub because when you're doing research, it's not just about LinkedIn, it's about GitHub as well. And stalking people on GitHub means following people on GitHub, forking the repositories, document your work, write a book. So here's an example of a couple of books. This is a book written by Karthik. It's still under work. These are as I mentioned, Karthik and Abhishek are working on model interpretability in machine learning, and they have been drafting this book since like 2 or 3 months, and they have the rough sketches ready. It's still work in progress. So I would not encourage you guys to see this right now. Maybe you can see it by end of August. So this is kind of the work which you should be doing. Like apart from exploring ideas, reading papers, coding, make sure to share knowledge, make sure to document your work. It really has a great impact. Trust me, it really has a great impact. And you can surely start doing it right now, little by little. And by the end of the year, you will have like substantial things to show while you are, before you are applying for your full-time work. And that's one thing. So on GitHub, try to follow people, try to document things, try to write a book. It goes a long way. And that's it about what I wanted to talk about today. In case you have questions, you can ask me at the end, but that's it. Thank you.